In today's video, we talk about what to do when you get bored with your training. Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Revelia from ProPhysique.com coming to you on Monday afternoon. Hope everyone had a fantastic weekend. I saw there were some amazing basketball games on. I didn't watch a single one. Gotta be honest. These days, it's all about work and my family, and we are moving. And tomorrow is a very exciting day because all this stuff you see behind me, this is my home gym. Tomorrow I have some friends coming over to help me and we're going to move it. So I'm gonna probably try to document some of that because it is a pretty big home gym. So we're gonna be moving it to the new house. Unfortunately, the new house does not have a home gym set up. I'm building a brand new garage office gym on my property. So that's gonna take a little while. So for the time being, it's just going to be stored in the garage. Today's video is a topic that is very near and dear to my heart, something I think about quite often, something I get asked about quite often, and that is, what do we do when training gets boring? So I wanted to get to the root of why training gets boring and the root of beyond that, why we train. When we initially begin training, we get excited about the process, we get excited about something new. And so the root for most of us for motivation is learning a new skill, grasping something new, mastering it, getting better at it, and seeing us progress. I think that's just a part of human nature. I notice with myself, a lot of the things that I like to do in my free time are things that you can constantly be improving. See, growing up playing sports, as a baseball pitcher, you know, once you master the fastball, then you master the curveball, then you master the slider, then you master the changeup, then you gotta work on location. For those people that think baseball's boring or hate it, I get it, but for me, it's a baseball thing, it's a passion thing, and those are some of the skills that I was learning as a pitcher over my lifetime. And then when it gets to the gym, you know, it's very exciting the first time you learn how to bench press and then someone shows you how to do it properly, or the first time you squat and it feels terrible, and then you learn how to squat properly, you feel like, oh, I've mastered that skill, and it gets very exciting, and then you want to do a squat program. And so I think what's very common right now is for people to get into a strength program, resistance training, and then kind of reach a plateau, they get bored, and then they look for that next goal. Competition is the same type of thing. We're mastering our bodies, we're getting leaner, looking better, we're posing, right? Powerlifting, you learn to master these skills to such a high degree that you're actually going to be able to use them at a competition level. So what I wanted to talk a little bit about today is what can we do when training gets bored? And I've kind of already alluded to a few of the things that I would suggest. But as someone who's been training for 23 years, I just wanted to give like a very high level, top-down look at what are some of the things that I've done to keep my interest in the gym. And let me say this right off the bat. I'm not always super motivated to go to the gym, super excited. But one thing I have is patience and faith in the process. And I understand that for me to get better, I have to be consistent. So beyond all the things that I'm going to talk about today with motivation and consistency, consistency is by far the most important of those two, right? You don't always have to be motivated, but you always have to be consistent, okay? So when we're talking about getting bored with training, let's just say you're on a typical bro split where you're training a body part once a week. You know, you got a leg day, you got a shoulder day, you got a back day, a chest day, an arm day, right? And that gets a little bit tiresome. After a couple months, maybe 6 months, the progress stops. Where do we go from there? Well, this is where we can get into some unique training programs where, you know, if you're not gonna change intensities, so maybe you start doing things like drop sets, supersets, timing your sets, right? Changing the variables, trying to master things. This is one place where CrossFit gets it right because at no point do you master CrossFit. You just change the variables. Now you have to do this WOD in this amount of time, right? And you're always pushing yourself and changing. So that's why I think CrossFit has such a wide popularity base because the skills you're learning, you're always applying them to a new thing. The same can be true for bodybuilding and powerlifting. And that's kind of what I've done over my lifetime in the gym to kind of keep things interesting. Is when I reach a plateau, let's say I've bench pressed for a few months or maybe a year or two, and I've gotten to a point where I get bored with bench, well, I immediately say to myself, what would be a fun lift to get really strong at? Maybe I want to get good at incline dumbbell bench pressing, and I want to do those 150-pound dumbbells on the incline. Well, it's not going to happen today, it's not going to happen tomorrow, but it might happen in 6 months if I start programming for it. The same thing I do over and over for all the lifts. Even things like trying crazy programs like Smolov for squat, maybe a 4-day-a-week arm program, right? So there's lots of options out there, but the thing is just being consistent and applying something and then using it for a period of time, seeing what you enjoy. And then at the end of that period, once you've learned kind of what you're enjoying and what you're not enjoying, that's when we can kind of address, okay, what's the next thing, right? That's one thing I like about competing, is that every time you compete, you see some changes, you also see areas that need to be addressed more, some weaknesses. Then you go back to the drawing board and you address those changes. So within your boredom, within your program that you're currently doing, look around and see what some other people are doing. Maybe get a magazine, maybe get a book, maybe just look at some YouTube videos on training styles and discuss some ideas with yourself, with those around you. Maybe your training partner and you can switch it up. You know, maybe competing isn't for you, maybe powerlifting isn't for you, but maybe you can have a goal to hit a number on a certain lift. You know, like I had a lifetime goal of I wanted to hit a 400-pound bench, 500-pound squat, all these things. And so at periods of my training life, these are things that I actually shot for. I went into the gym and I programmed for them and I planned for them, or I hired a coach, or I did whatever I needed to do to reach that goal, to earn a pro card on the bodybuilding stage. Whatever my goal is, I'm constantly trying to plan ahead, because mastering those little individual skills along the way, even if it's not exciting from day to day, it still keeps me going. I'm excited to go to the gym today. I have a leg day. I'm going to try to do a little bit more volume than I did last week because I want my legs to get bigger, because I'm going to get on stage next year, right? So I'm constantly setting these little goals for myself, and I find that has allowed me to remain consistent, especially over the last decade. The decade before that, yes, I would train, but I would also be a lot more inconsistent because I would get bored. I didn't plan ahead. I didn't have goals. My only goal was to go in the gym and put on muscle. But after a period of time, putting on muscle doesn't happen as easily, and it happens certainly a lot slower, and it's a lot less visible. The scale's not changing, the weights in the gym aren't changing. But what I found with bodybuilding and powerlifting and setting these goals for myself, it's allowed me to remain a lot more consistent. So I think for you, if you're getting bored with your training, the key is plan out what your next goal is. Plan out a way to change so that you are learning a new skill and integrating it. All right, guys, have an awesome Monday. This is Paul from ProPhysique.com. If you're looking for ideas, comment below. I also noticed today on my analytics on YouTube that I have a lot of people watching my videos that are not subscribers. So it would make my day if you guys would click the subscribe button. It really is a skill that I'm trying to master right now, right? And that is growing my YouTube channel. I love being a part of the community. I love the feedback I've been getting and commenting and meeting you guys at expos. So I want to keep that going. And what gets me most excited on YouTube is the views, is the comments, and of course the subscribers. So you guys have an awesome Monday. I'll be coming to you tomorrow with a new video. I don't know what time. It might be late because we are moving the home gym in the morning. But I will try to get some content out and we can discuss something new. Talk to you soon. I almost forgot. I just wanted to mention the shirt that I'm wearing, Rule the Platform, Rule the Stage. A big shout out to my friend Alpha Alchemy. If you like this shirt, he's got these, he's got others. I love the way they fit. They're very tight and athletic fitting, making me feel like I lift. So I'm going to wear this to the gym today. Once again, thank you for the free shirt, Mr. Alpha Alchemy. I will link his website or Instagram below so you guys can go check out his stuff. Have a great day.